Frederik. How you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I am good. I'm good. I'm not your Chambers. I'm from Big Go Belt Media. Thank you for your time today. Congratulations on your new film, The Quiet Ones, which is going to be available in theaters and digitally February 21st. That is
Yeah,
exciting times. You're coming back for your sophomore film. You're teaming back up with the lead of this film and Gustav, who I mean, this dude is chiseled. I mean, he's the man. He's really the man,
yeah,
and y'all
yeah,
really have a really good collaborative piece of work here with this one. I definitely want to start off with that because you two did work on the series together, and now you got him back as your lead in this film. What was
yeah.
sort of the conversations and having somebody you had previously worked with? How did it sort of make the process work for you?
I mean, I had been working with Gustav for this show that I did called Prisoner,
Yeah.
and I had actually worked with him when I was in film school. We also did a short film together, so I kind of knew of him very from a very early point in both our lives. I think he was 18 when we worked together the first time, um, and um, I think he's just at that point early on. I could see how much of a remarkable actor he could become. But now, since he's been doing a lot of films, a lot of TV, and has been, in the actors, acting academy here in Denmark. I mean, it has just, he's now gotten so much more. So much more depth, I think, as an actor,
Yeah.
from when he was just, a happy amateur as an 18-year-old, right?
Yeah.
So, I was just super excited to work with him, and to see what he was able to do. Yeah. One second. Sorry, it was just my daughter who's going to sleep now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No
I
worries
promise
at
it,
all.
it, it won't
No,
take away,
absolutely.
it won't take away from your time. I'm sorry.
No
Um,
worries, no worries at all. Which is which
um,
is which is which is really an interesting point because I was literally going to ask you about Gustav's performance because
yeah.
I think there's no doubt that he can be your next premier action star. But with this character of Gunner, we see that there is a lot of heart, and
Mm,
he's truly motivated by his
mm,
family, particularly his daughter.
yeah.
And with so much money at stake, but just the threat, the possibilities, the dangers. It seems at the very bare minimum, no matter what, he just wants to get home to his daughter. That seems to be his ultimate driving factor.
Mm,
Yourself as a father with your daughter, when you have a conversation with your actor saying like, "Hey, you really have to carry this toll with you, otherwise." For me, I feel like the film doesn't work, or we doesn't believe that this is his true motivation, and it's a
right.
motivation that a lot of folks can relate to. So, what was sort of just the conversation in terms of ensuring that emotional capacity was going to be displayed throughout the entirety of the film?
I think, I mean, we spent a lot of time researching with one of the real, with the real main Danish organizer of the robbery, who was attached to the project and who also helped us develop the script. He was a big part of Gustav's preparation as well, and they spent a lot of time together. And I, and it was very important to me not to paint a glamorizing picture of what it is to live a life of crime. And I think that the real organizer of the robbery, Stefan, who we talked to, he would agree that it takes a toll on your family as well, and you can't be a good father if you need to be a good criminal as well. You need to detach yourself. You need to be able to put on, literally speaking, one mask and go do one thing and then take it off and be somebody else. um, but I think for a lot of these people, it kind of dawns on them way too late what the
Mm.
consequences of their actions are. So it kind of, as they're doing it, they're super. super invested. They kind of get like tunnel vision, like athletes in a way, or like
Yeah.
myself when I go on a production. And it's only when I come back that I realize all the time that I, missed out, all the times that I'm going to be doing, these criminals are going to be on the run the second that they hit the score. They're never
Yeah.
going to be able to look over their shoulder. And I think that realization comes way too late
Mm,
for a lot of these people. And I thought that was an interesting way of looking at it.
mm, mm. I appreciate that. That definitely gives a lot of perspective. And I will say from a viewer standpoint, you definitely do see. I love the analogy of like an athlete that's this sort of addiction to success or win or to obviously
Yeah,
achieve the goal here. There's just nothing that's going to put to jeopardize that. And thus, you get these folks going out there doing things that normal folks wouldn't do on any
yeah,
given day. I mean, they're just
yeah,
locked in and dedicated to trying to get their goal. Man, I gotta tell you, one of the most insane sequences of all films I've seen this year is this chase scene through the rain towards the third act of this film. Oh, man, man,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Talk to me about putting that scene together. And oh my goodness, it was intense. But I'm curious to
Yeah.
know what was sort of the conversations and really constructing that.
I mean, I remember I had a conversation with Stefan, the real guy of the robbery, and I said to him, "So, how did you get, what was the getaway like?" And he was like, "It was the most chaotic thing you would ever imagined. They they had a route that they had prepared, but it just started to rain, really heavy rain as soon as they got into those cars. And when you drive a car with, I don't know what it is in miles, but when you drive it, 250 kilometers an hour, when you drive that fast, you won't, uh, the wind wipe, what's it called? The wipers
Yeah,
won't be
wipers.
able to clear the screen. I mean, you'll be driving blind. And he
Yeah.
said the only thing that we had to navigate for was like oncoming red lights on the freeway from traffic that they passed. They couldn't see anything else. They could only see blue lights in the background and then red lights ahead of them. And I was like, "Oi, that sounds." I really wanted to put myself in the middle of that car and not ever give our audience a way of navigating in it. It should look as confusing and as claustrophobic as what he just said.
Yeah.
So that was the idea. We took that and then tried to see how little can we show. Can we just we just press this car full of people and then we gun it down the highway in like pelting rain. um yeah, I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it was insane. I own a German car. I own a Volkswagen, but I
Yeah,
told you for a moment I was like, man, if Audi's is doing that, I might go to the
yeah,
dealership there. What a commercial
yeah,
for them, I would say.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, so those, I mean, it was those exact cars, those Audi A6s. It was the type of car that they used because they have a lot of horsepower, and they
Yeah.
were actually able to outrun the Danish police cars at that time.
I mean, man, yeah, as a car enthusiast, I was just like I was on cloud nine watching that. But again, so intense as you said, and yeah, claustrophobic is the word. I don't even drive in elements like that, but just to kind of see it in that capacity, I was like, wow, this is just amazing.
Yeah,
For
and I
this,
mean, on top of like the physical elements, they also were arguing very much in the car, and the
yeah,
whole
gun to
idea
your
that
head.
somebody, yeah, which was also something that happened in real life because they
Wow.
started to argue, and Stefan told us that he was like, "Are these guys planning on robbing me now? Is that what they're doing? Are they
It felt
trying
that
to?"
way. Yeah.
So he was like, I drew my gun very fast when he was in that car, and I was like, boy, that going 250 kilometers down a raining highway. I mean, must be some wild minutes in that car.
Yeah, I know there was a job to be done, but I just could imagine just you just being a consumer of this story and obviously the relationship
Yeah,
that you've made with him in terms of just wanting to know so much more because the script
Yeah,
obviously had to be done, but like the emotions behind everything was so important to this, which is why I enjoyed
yeah,
this. For my
yeah. Thanks,
final,
man.
yeah, absolutely. For my final questions, and once again, The Quiet Ones in theaters and digital February 21st, because I want to talk a little bit about your mid-credit scene. So we did get it, for folks that wasn't aware that this was a true story. And with all these sort of documentaries, docuseries, or biopics, whatever it may be, we always want to know like what's the deal right now. And what was really fascinating is with this being one of Denmark's biggest heists, um, there
Mm.
was, I believe, $70 million that was announced to be missing. Only about
Yeah,
four,
Kronos.
yeah, yeah. So only 4 million had been found. I think I did
Yeah,
the equation. So that's about 10 million about US
yeah,
dollars, and just
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
small little drop of that
yeah,
was to be found. So I'm curious about the final shot where we get to see the shot of the rocks, which we know I don't want to give that away, but the shot of the rock still is in place. What are you
yeah.
trying to tell the viewers? But ultimately, what were you told in order to make to incorporate that shot? Because there's something very granular about this, I feel. Do I need to be out
Yeah.
here with a shovel?
It was actually fun because after the robbery in real life there was a lot of, because the money was never found, there was a lot of Danes who were actually out looking for the money with shovels, trying to see if they could find them. Police actually had to go out and say don't look for the money, because if you find them you're going to be in trouble, so don't look for them. Which was actually quite funny now that you mention it. But no, I mean, I, of course, talked a lot about, where the money is, or not, because the money has been spent, right? And the official explanation is that the money, easy money that comes easy are also spent easy. And for a
Yeah,
lot of these criminals, it's more about, getting away with it, spending them fast, and
yeah,
then doing something else, like losing the money trail as fast as possible, because um, you can't really carry them with you. Um, and some buy property, some bury them, some do whatever, and some spend them very fast on stupid stuff. But the money was just never found. They just, I think they entered too many hands too quickly, and they were exchanged into 500 euro bills, which was a very large bill. They discontinued it because it was used primarily for criminal reasons, so that you can't get that bill any longer. But it was exchanged into that at that point, and I think that made them disappear very quickly.
sounds good to me. Well, if you do find anything, just give your boy a quick shout. Just a quick
Yes.
thousand. No worries. This is one of vacation, nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. You won't tell anybody.
But let us, as the fans and the viewers, put some money in your pockets, because folks, go out to the theaters or check it out in digital if it fits you better. I would say this is absolutely a theatrical experience. The Quiet Ones, available February 21st. Frederick, thank you so much for your time. Get back to work. You got two now. I'm ready to see more of your work, man. This was a good one.
Yeah.
I appreciate your
Thank you.
time.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a
Take care.
pleasure meeting you, man. Yeah, you too.
Frederik.